The Avengers issue 22 sees Robbie return to Hill Rock Heights and take Gabe for a drive to school in his Charger. The boy says he hasn't been in the car forever, and Robbie apologizes since he's been busy with his new job, but reveals it's not working out so well and he's thinking of quitting. Gabe keeps telling Robbie to go faster, and soon the engine heats up, telling Robbie it's running on blood and it's time to gas up. The Charger takes off down the street in a fiery explosion, running on the roofs of the other cars on the road, telling Robbie that slow is death and penance. Robbie tries to get the car to stop as fiery chains wrap around Gabe, as the car tells Robbie he can't just quit being a rider, and he doesn't get to stay dead like his parents, since he needs to watch the world burn through flaming eyes. Robbie manages to stop the car before it hits the school, getting out and kicking it before breaking down, close to telling Gabe about being the Ghost Rider, but he tells him he's okay. The car's just running weird and he's going to go get it fixed. Taking the car into the desert, Robbie has had enough, smashing it to pieces with a sledgehammer for hours before making his way home on the bus. The next day, however, the car turns up outside his house, looking brand new. Heading to the Avengers mansion, Robbie turns to the Avengers for help, hoping that they can help him get rid of the Ghost Rider. T'Challa warns him of the risks involved in what he is asking for, since his bond with the vehicle could kill him if they do this. Robbie tells them how he came into possession of the car, being gunned down by some drug dealers, but somehow the car brought him back to life as Ghost Rider. However, the car turned out it was possessed by the soul of a serial killer, the killer being his uncle Eli, whom for months he hasn't heard anything from, but when the vampires turned him into the monster to do their bidding, he now has begun hearing a voice, but it's not Eli's. Blade says that he's run with spirits of vengeance before, and they have been around for the entirety of the human history, but he still doesn't know their origin or their true purpose, and there has been stories about them either being born from God's will and judgment or from the deals with devils, but Robbie says that he never made a deal, but Blade thinks that Eli did, but he can deal with it since luckily he's got his Hellfire shotgun ready. T'Challa says that every problem has a solution and he's called in an expert on these sorts of situations, but until he arrives, he wants to run some tests on Robbie. Blade says that he has tried calling the other Ghost Riders like Danny Ketch, but he's a drunkard and no one has heard from Johnny Blaze in weeks, but Robbie says that Johnny Blaze is in hell as his car and body begin to turn, launching out change and wrapping around Robbie. T'Challa notes the power coming from him is insurmountable and tries to locate the power's origin, but Steve wants him to shut it down, even though it will probably kill Robbie. Robbie turns into the Rider, telling them that he will kill the Hell Charger no matter what. T'Challa's help soon arrives in the form of Damon Hellstrom, who plans on performing an exorcism on Robbie and the car. In Turkey, Okoye meets with Thor and Iron Man on one of the cleanup sites from the recent War of the Realms. She-Hulk is cleaning up the Muspelheim grub mites that infest the land, so Tony wonders what they have been brought here, since the cleanup looks like it's going well. Okoye reveals that they found something. She takes them to a cave, which apparently hardened Wakandan miners found, all whom emerged from the tunnel screaming from the darkness. Entering, Thor senses a great evil in the cave, and they shouldn't go any further, but Okoye says that she already explored a lot of the tunnel, finding something inside. She presents them with an Iron Man shaped helmet, which is dated back to the Stone Age and is made from a fossilized metal. Okoye wonders if Stark has ever been in the cave, but he says he hasn't, but something tells him that he's going to be. Back at Avengers Mountains, Steve's hands have been hurt by the chains, infected with an evil spirit. As T'Challa calls for holy water to douse Cap's wounds in, Damon begins his ritual, conjuring up a breathing gun, a powerful archweapon of hell. He gives it to Blade since he's the only one he can trust, saying that if he becomes possessed during the ritual, the gun will hiss, and if it does, he is to shoot the Rider, then Damon, then empty the clip into the car. The ritual begins and Damon tells Steve to leave since he is pure of heart, but he refuses, forcing Damon to begin the ritual anyway. Robbie says that he's doing this for Gabe as the car's flames engulf him, transporting them both to the highway of hell, where Johnny Blaze knows he's doing some type of exorcism to try and get rid of the spirit, and tells Robbie he can't just throw away a spirit of vengeance. But he has an offer for the boy, he will take the Ghost Rider off his hands the Ghost Rider way. He will race Robbie for it. The Avengers issue 22 answered all of the questions people had regarding Robbie Reyes and his Ghost Rider as he tries to rid himself of whatever haunts him. I've been very excited with all of the horror stuff Jason Aaron is kind of bringing back into Marvel since it sort of disappeared there for a long stretch. So stuff like Blade, Damon Hellstrom, vampires, Man-Thing, all these really cool concepts and cool dark shit that the Marvel Universe has to offer, and he's making them popular again, and rightly so, because we also obviously got a Blade movie coming out very soon. The 1 billion BC Avengers stuff hinted at throughout this issue was really cool as well, and surprising as well, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what could possibly be a time travel story with Tony going back in time, or maybe there was a 1 million BC Iron Man. Very intrigued to find out what's happening with that. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching my newest video. If you enjoyed it, you might also like to check out my other reviews here on my channel. You can also follow me on various social media platforms like Twitter by searching Matt_FOS, or even join the Comic Multiverse Discord server and chat with other comic book fans, including myself and Joel from Cape Joel. Want cheap comics and trades? Head over to the book depository with the link in the description to get the cheapest trades and comics around, along with free shipping anywhere in the world. Until next time, this has been Matt of the Fortress of Solitude. Thank you so much for watching.